Well, welcome to May, and the great thing about May is, of course, it's a time to reflect and to rethink. The last fishing season for the freshwater people has gone, and now we're into the new season of thinking about what's going on in the winter time. And of course, there's all sorts of things happening. We're going to get to that in just a minute, but let's just look at the last season. It was a funny old year in many ways, of course very warm in many places, and when you look at things like salmon fishing, it was like very average. Some rivers were better than others. I will say this, the initial responses from the Rakaia say that there's been a lot of fish go through, and a lot of people of course were keeping away from it, and that meant more fish did get up to the top. I've got a few friends who went out there and they absolutely cleaned up, but I can tell you that now, they would have shot me if I'd have said it before. And so now's the time, we'll let the cat out of the bag. It was pretty good if you're in the Rakaia. The other rivers, not quite so good. I know the Rangitata was a wee bit on the slow side, and certainly the Waimak didn't live up to the expectations we often get, where you get a fairly good March and April run. Now, I will say this, in view of what's gone on, there looks like there's going to be some real changes in the way that salmon are administered, and you might see changes to limits and times things are open in our North Canterbury area. I know there's a lot going on behind the scenes, so if you've got yourself a direct line into the Facebook page for Fish and Game, have a look there, keep abreast of it, have your say if you feel like something's going along. Make sure that you do get along to any meetings that are discussing regulations. Don't come along and then moan and say, oh, I didn't know they're going to change this and then they're going to do that, without you having a say. Be aware there are changes coming. You can have a say. You need to get yourself out there to make your voice heard. Of course, sea run fishing also hasn't been so good. So standard trout fishing, I think it was pretty average to say the least. And of course, kahawai, well, they're a bit hit and miss. Great again if you're at the likes of the Rakaia, and good days at the Waimak and the Hiranui, but it really did change depending on the day, time that you're there and so forth. And of course, the very end of the season's had a lot more water coming through, which gives pretty good protection to everything. So as far as the back country is concerned, I think it was a pretty good year up there. Certainly the lakes fish well, and if you love dry fly fishing, as I do, some people have come to me with extremely good stories, and of course they always come out at this time of year, and I wish I'd been there. But unfortunately, things like work get in the way, and some of you will have known what that's like. Most people, when they come to a season, say, I've got all these plans, and then when it gets to the end of the season, they say, well, actually, I didn't quite get out like I wanted to. So we've now got winter coming, so there's some great opportunities in there, and we'd like to encourage you to do that. When it comes to fishing in the briny, the surf fishing was pretty good early on, particularly through October and November. But once we had Lake Ellesmere opened up, it's surprising the rig and the elephant fish fishing just sort of went downhill a wee bit. So we're hoping this year that it's going to get pretty good around those times. Don't forget to get out early. We'll try and keep you posted as to what to do when, so that you've got the heads up on the whole thing. We do get a bit of insider trading when we're involved in the tackle industry. We do know a little bit about what's going on. So get yourself all prepared for that. Remember, the great thing about winter is you can get gear all sorted out, get whatever's new. We've got a lot of new products coming into the fishing tackle industry, and I'm about to go over to Australia and have a look at a whole heap of new stuff coming forward. So that's good news for all you gear freaks. Remember, it is an arms race. Whoever's got the most toys at the end sort of wins. So I just let you know that those of you who've thought you had it all complete, hey, there's a whole new pack of stuff coming out to excite you and to help you catch more fish, hopefully. As far as boat fishing is concerned, it was a pretty good year on the kingies. I know that there's a bit more attention being placed on some of the high fishing points like the mussel farm. A lot of people get out there, and the more people who are fishing over a particular area, of course, the tougher it is. So if you can get out there on those marginal days or go to slightly different places, you will get good results. But kingy fishing was pretty good because the sea surface temperatures were pretty high. And then you look at just general boat fishing. Great time of year coming into it. Like, this is the time for groper and for deep water fishing, cod and the likes. So just keep your eye on the weather. Get a nice settled high pressure system. Those days are just fantastic. When you get out there, you can do really well. But I want to talk to you a bit more about the canals, because of course the canals are our primary winter fishery, and I'd spend so much time in the winter down there. I hardly ever go down there in the summer because there's so many other things going on in my life, but when I get down here in the winter time, I'm starting to understand more and more about what's going on. But the thing that's fantastic about the canals for me, and I have people come along and say, oh, they're easy, or oh, it's all the same, it's like taking candy off a kid. I know they haven't fished them. If you're telling me that, you haven't fished it, because it is tough. It requires a lot of thinking. It's got a lot more pressure on it. There's all sorts of people coming from all around the world to fish here. Welcome to all our Australian friends. We have a heap of those that come over and spend a bit of time here. At least they appreciate just how good it is, where some of the people in our area are prepared to just dismiss it and poo-hoo the idea. I tell you, the canals are a great place to fish. It has been a bit more tricky lately because of the amount of water that we had falling into the headwaters, and of course that's made all our canal systems quite dirty. So when it's dirty, you haven't got as much visibility obviously for the fish, and I found that egg rolling doesn't work quite so well when you've got that murky water. So when it clears, of course it's going to get better. And of course the other thing that you've got to balance against that is that as we get into towards the end of May, you'll start getting fresh run fish running up to the normal hot spots where the fish are all hanging out to spawn. Always fascinated, you know, that the official position of the Central South Island Fish and Game is that no fish spawn in the canals. That's the official position. Interested in your comments on that? You can just write little notes under there. My observation, just from having looked at it for many times, is they certainly do. So I'm interested to see if we could perhaps have a revamp on that, and perhaps even a little bit of protection for those that are there trying to get future generations. But I know that I've got lots and lots of little fish that come from somewhere. I'm not sure where.
Aww.
Anyway, that's a little bit on the canals. We're doing a canal school. I'd like to tell you, if you want to find out a bit about it, have a look at our Facebook and various other media outlets. We've got a bit on that. We've got our first canal school coming up just straight after Queen's birthday weekend. If you get yourself down there, you'll be amazed at what you learn. It's not just about, we're going to teach you a quick technique. We will go right through all the things that you do. We'll get your casting improved. We'll get the whole flow and drift and bite detection, everything like that. I want you to catch more fish. If you catch more fish, then you get more enthusiastic. You tell your mates. It grows your fishing experience, but it also grows our business. So that's why we're in the whole business of doing that. I'd also like to just say a little bit about how good the winter fishing will be. Like we've got a month where a lot of our fisheries are closed, but our lakes open up. You know, Coleridge, Self, various others. They open up on the 1st of June. So well worth getting up there. I don't mind the cold. I mean, hey, I own an outdoor store. We have fantastic clothes that keep you warm when it's cold. I just thought I'd throw that cheap ad in there while we're on the go. But if you find yourself well decked out, it's actually quite bracing and exhilarating to go out there and catch fish. And remember, in the wintertime, they're often in really good condition. So I'm looking forward to that time as well, to balance it up between going to the canals and going to our backcountry lakes in particular. A lot of our rivers are also open above the main road bridges, and you'll find that the limit is 0, so you can catch and release. That's the important thing for you to look at if you're in the North Canterbury area. So just check your regulation books. You'll find there's a heap that is open. I'm going to do a lot of fishing at that time because I have more time on my hands to do that, and I enjoy getting out there on that bracing day and having fun. So come and see us. We'll give you more information on this. We're at 484 Cranford Street, or you can see us online at CompleteAngler NZ, or on, of course, our Facebook pages and so forth. We want to get you catching more fish.